All right. So with the announcement of Pokemon Legends ZA bringing back Mega Pokemon, I figured I would go through and take a look at a bunch of Mega Pokemon I think could possibly be added, or, you know, I think maybe deserve to be added. Kind of a mix of the two. The first three, I definitely think, the Gen 6 starters. Obviously, with Pokemon Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, we had Mega Blaziken, Mega Swampert, and Mega Sceptile. So, it kind of makes sense to assume that we would be getting Mega Greninja, Delphox, and Chestnut. From the three, obviously Greninja, I think it's gonna kind of be Ash Greninja again. I feel like I almost feel like they got rid of Ash Greninja in anticipation of Mega Greninja being just kind of like a replacement for him. And besides that, it's hard to make guesses at what they might get for abilities, or what the exact stat spreads are going to be. At least for the designs, because of like the RPG inspiration that people usually like talk about with these three Pokemon. Greninja being like a rogue, Delphox being like a mage, and Chestnut being like a fighter. And them each having like, Delphox having a wand, Chestnut having a shield, and Greninja having a shuriken. Similarly to how like Ash Greninja gets the giant shuriken on his back when he, does his battle bond. I think that they might go for a similar sort of design for their mega forms, where like Delphox might get a giant like wizard staff, Chestnut getting like a large like tower shield or something of that form. And then, I mean, like I said, I kind of think this will be an Ash Greninja replacement, so something similar to the giant shuriken. Maybe not like an exact copy, but along those lines. And besides that, I mean, I really hope that Delphox gets a new ability. Magician is so fucking boring and horrible, and also literally would not work on a Mega Pokemon. You can't exactly... I mean, that's assuming Pokemon Legends EA even has items to begin with. We don't know how similar it's going to be to Legends Arceus yet, whether they'll have abilities this time or items. For now, I'm just going to talk like they will, but I don't necessarily expect that will be the case. But, Magic Guard, it's right there. Makes sense. The naming convention fits for Delphox being a mage. That would be honestly really good. I don't really know, like, it kind of reminds me of Ferrothorn in a lot of ways, maybe like Iron Barbs type of stuff, but I don't think these two necessarily need a new ability as much as Delphox does. But I would definitely expect, at the very least, that these three Pokemon will get Mega Evolutions in the DLC. Now, besides moving on from these three, I have a bunch of Pokemon that are connected to currently existing Mega Pokemon in some form. And I expect them to potentially get Mega Evolutions just based off of that connection. The first one being, I think, one of the stronger connections with Mega Gyarados existing. And Feebas being kind of a counterpart to Magikarp. I mean, they have extremely similar designs. And, Gyarados being like the very destructive, like, water Pokemon. And then Milotic being like the graceful water Pokemon. I think, they kind of work as like counterparts to each other, and so seeing Gyarados get a Mega and Milotic not, I feel like it's just perfect. It's sitting right there. It's low-hanging fruit. Like, it definitely feels like it makes sense for Milotic to get one. And I especially like the connection because of Gyarados gaining a Dark typing when it Mega Evolves. And people have talked about for ages Milotic being Water Fairy instead of just pure water, being like, a literal like lake fairy, something of that, akin to that. And Milotic getting a Mega Evolution and then gaining a Fairy type from the Mega Evolution is so unbelievably perfect. Like, I really fucking hope that they add something like that. And I would honestly kind of expect this to be in Legends EA, provided, you know, Milotic's in there in the first place. But, let's see. Slowking. Obviously, Slowbro has one. It's kind of whack that one got a Mega Evolution and the other didn't. You know, we have Gardevoir and Mega Gallade. A split path evolution that both forms got the Mega Evolution, but Slowking got kind of hoed. I really do not know what they would go for on him for ability. Maybe keep Regenerator as opposed to, you know, his brother who gets Shell Armor. Or maybe make him, like, way more offensive compared to Slowbro. But, I mean, it is kind of insane that they gave Slowbro one and not Slowking. He definitely got fucking hoed. I do not know what to say, but look at this brother. He is just totally distraught. It's written all over his face. Next, Frostlass. They gave Glalie a fucking Mega Evolution. Look at this guy. He is just a ball with some scary-ass teeth. Big buck teeth hanging out his mouth. And not Frostlass with this crazy-ass, like, design. I definitely hope, at least, that this guy gets a Mega Evolution. I mean, it's a very unique Pokemon, and I feel like an underrated Pokemon. I've like seen this thing like one time before in all of existence. Ice Ghost. Is that unique typing? I think that might be. Whatever. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure Ice Ghost is unique typing, which is cool, obviously. As for what to give for ability, I mean, it could certainly use a new ability. Curse Body's not like the worst thing in the world, but it doesn't help a Pokemon that's already bad. It's just like an ability that's kind of nice on a Pokemon that's already decent. You know? Snowcloak as well. It's going to be banned in most competitive formats. Doesn't, you know, it's not self-sufficient either. You need like team support. I mean, I guess you could use whatever, Snowscape, or, you know, you can set it up yourself, but still kind of whack. Could definitely use the stats. I mean, it has good speed. This guy actually has insane speed. What the fuck? Yo, why is this shitter so fast? I never knew that this guy was so fast. 110? That's actually insane. Yeah, this guy definitely deserves a Mega Evolution. Just make him like strong as balls. Make him like the new Calyrex Shadow Ice Rider. I don't know. And then give him like the craziest shit of all time. Super Blizzard. Butterfree. Now look. Personally, this is the one that upsets me the most. We got Beedrill over here with this crazy ass Mega Evolution. Actually, let me look this. This is very important. Look at this. 150 and 145. Look at that. Bro got an extra 100 stat points. Did they fucking like tank? Yeah, and they tanked his special attack just to make him uber fucking strong. Look at him. Those are not even real stats. And my boy Butterfree is over here. Like, please help me. 90, 70. I mean, 90 is not, like, irredeemable by any means. 70. 60. 50. Brother. Look, this guy just needs the Beedrill treatment. Give him, like, 145, 110. Or even, like, a split between special attack, special defense, and speed for Quiver Dance. Like, I'm telling you, this guy could be crazy. And give him a new ability. Well, actually, Tinted Lens is not that bad in ability. Actually, you know what? Okay, Tinted Lens is really not that bad. Maybe it doesn't need a new ability. And look at this design on this fucker over here. Hold on. Yo, this is a crazy ass cool design. I mean, get rid of the clouds because it's part of the Dynamax thing. But dude, why couldn't they give us this as a Mega? It would have been so fucking sick. Instead, Beedrill's over here living like the time of his life. Fucking 145 and 150. That is not even real. Adaptability, like, bro. This guy is not real. They need to give Butterfree justice for getting scammed when they're both early game, fucking same route. Basically, like, the same dudes. They're like twins. And then Beedrill gets one and Butterfree doesn't. Fuck off. Alright, Eradicate. Now, I do not really want this guy to get a Mega Evolution. And basically, the only reason he's here is because Pidgeot got a Mega Evolution. And, you know, every game has its early game bird and its early game, like, rodent. And so we saw Pidgeot, the early game bird, get a Mega Evolution. I feel like it is kind of fitting for an early game rodent to get one. I don't necessarily want this guy to get one, but maybe they could do something. I mean, I don't fuck with Eradicate, but maybe Mega Eradicate could be, like, sick. You know, they come up with some crazy-ass design. But, yeah, I feel like this one's a bit harder. People tend to actually like the early game birds. Not so much with the early game rodents. I mean, let's see. You got Furret. He's cool. All right. You got Obstagoon and his little homie, Linoon. Those guys are pretty cool. You know, you got Bidoof memes. Gen 5. Is that fucking Patrat? I fucking hate that Pokemon. That guy should go explode. Gen 6. I don't know. Gen 7, Donald Trump. Gen 8. Fucking, like, what? Thievul and Wooloo? I mean, they're not really rodents, so. And then Gen 9 has... Got the pig. Is there like a rodent? Nah, I can't even think. Either way, they're not quite as memorable as the birds most of the time. I wouldn't be, like, super expecting this guy to get a Mega or, you know, any of the other rodents, but I figured I'd throw it in here just because of that connection. I mean, I feel like it makes a decent amount of sense to try and represent lots of, like, different types of Pokemon through Megas. Cleavor. Now, Scizor has one. And I guess you can kind of throw Scyther into this category as well, just because, you know, we already have Scizor having one. You know, you can't really rule out Scyther. But Cleavor. I think this Pokemon is already pretty good. I mean, look, he's got fucking Sheer Force. Does he not have Sharpness? Okay. Oh, got it. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say. Sharpness and Sheer Force. I mean, those are two crazy-ass abilities. Like, what the fuck? I mean, honestly, the shittiest thing is that this shit is 90% accuracy. Like, why? Why would they do that? I mean, let's see. Weaknesses. Oh, really? I would have assumed that Rock resisted Rock, but I guess not. But yeah, he only has 3 weaknesses. Otherwise, it's a ton of neutrals, which is kind of shitty, actually, because 70, 95, 70. He's not, like, the bulkiest Pokemon in the world, so having neutrals doesn't, you know, doesn't help you immensely when you're not that bulky to begin with. And he's got a crazy attack stat, 135. Like, 85 speed is pretty middling, but I think there's kind of 2 things that needs to happen, which is, 1, they make him... I don't necessarily know that he'll get that much faster with 85 speed. He doesn't look like the type of Pokemon that, like, will Mega Evolve and fucking become, like, the Flash, you know? I would expect him to still have, like, fairly middling speed. So maybe they could make him more bulky. That might help out a decent amount, considering, you know, when you're neutral to so much stuff, it means you're not really going to be getting one-shot that often if you have a decent amount of bulk. I mean, water is pretty shit thing to be weak to. Steel doesn't matter that much. I mean, there's lots of Steel-type Pokemon, but a lot of Steel types don't even really like to use their stabs, unless you're, you know, King Gambit or something. But even then, that guy just spams Dark-type attacks, so. And then Rock, I mean, the worst part about that is Stealth Rocks. There's no actual, like, Rock-type attacks being thrown around, hardly ever. If anything, he really got shafted this gen just because of Great Tusk, you know, walling his balls, so it's pretty tough for him out there. But I think with a Mega Evolution, and the other thing, a Cell Rock, that would be such a fucking baller move for a Pokemon with middling speed and boss-ass attack like this. A Cell Rock would do him so much good. It's actually insane. I doubt it, but if a Cell Rock... No, there's no way a Cell Rock is Sharpness boosted. But still, yeah. Like, just those two things will fucking put him over the moon. Now these two. Aerodactyl. You know, being like the trio fossil of their generation. Getting a Mega Evolution and then those two not. I think it would be really cool, especially Kabutops. I mean, Kabutops is a crazy cool design. Amistar has its legacy as like Lord Helix, you know, in the Twitch Plays Pokemon, but Kabutops, man, fuck, 115, 80, Swift Swim. Damn, their base stat total is actually not bad. 105. Like, this guy could go crazy with a Mega Evolution. I actually think he'd like be insane, and it would give nice, give rain teams a really nice alternative Mega, because right now you always fucking pick Swampert. Swampert is on every fucking rain team in old gen. It's actually insane. And also give this guy Mighty Cleave just cause fuck it. I want this guy to be broken. Kabutops is so fucking sick, and I feel like they could go crazy with this design. And I feel like I think there might be... I mean, this is probably a bit of a stretch, but just because of the connection with the first three, like, the idea of Mega Pokemon, you know, they're still, like, the same Pokemon in essence, and then their design becomes, like, more extravagant, like, you know what I mean? His claws, he might get more claws, or bigger, you know, more pronounced claws. And I think, like... he's just gonna have like 180 base attack. Something absolutely disgustingly absurd. I really hope this ends up being the case. Omnistar, I mean, weak armor, that's not a bad ability. Shell armor, damn. Swift Swim, damn. Bro has 3 good abilities. Yeah, I mean, they could make this guy like a bulky ass 115! Yo, I did not know that Omnistar was strong like that. What? That's insane. It's a shame that Mega Pokemon can't get like health increases, but I mean, a defense, special attack, special defense, make him bulky. I feel like Omnistar could be pretty good as well. Water Rock, it's not terrible typing. Clefable is probably the weakest connection out of all of them. Gengar having a Mega. Also, I don't think anybody ever wants to see this guy get a Mega Evolution. He is like a menace to all meta games, and is only now starting to fall off. 483, what? That's a weirdo ass base stat total. Okay, buddy. Stats. I mean, just any stats will make this guy more broken. Like, boom, boom, boom. He's broken. Just give him more. Fucking dump all his attack. Be the first Pokemon with base 0 attack. Put it all into, like, I don't know, just split between these 3. And then give this guy Quiver Dance. Just because. I want him to be the most broken Pokemon ever released. Unaware, Magic Guard, like, what the fuck? Broken ass abilities. I don't know which ability would be better for the Mega. You know, like, assuming you get just the one ability. Probably just Magic Guard. I mean, that's the one that's used more. Unaware is like not bad for setup, like if you're gonna cheese with Cosmic Power, and Cosmic Power cheese would be so nasty on a Mega with the buff defenses. Like, good god, this thing should never get a Mega, and I really hope it doesn't. This thing needs to just go away. It's way too broken. It's way too good to have a Mega, at least. Although, you know, there's always the question of, like, competition with Megas, because you can only have one Mega on your team. So, yo, is it going to be more worth it to have this guy Mega Evolve instead of another Pokemon on your team and just use regular Clefable? Kind of hard to say. Depends on how broken they make this thing, but... yeah, I mean, I don't think the connection is super strong here, though. Where, like, people make that, have the idea of, like, Clefable being the opposite counterpart to Gengar. It's not quite as obvious as, like, some of the other connections on here, with some of them being, like, literally, like, split evolutions, like Slowking. Like, I feel like that's a pretty obvious choice to have that guy get a Mega Evolution, as opposed to this, where it's kind of, like, a pretty vague, like, lore-based connection. The last set, of Pokemon I think like actually have like connections to currently existing ones are the pseudos. In the past, we have gotten Tyranitar, Salamence, Metagross, Garchomp. These 4 guys right here. And in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, they gave us these 2 guys, obviously, for their game, which I think leads to Goodra having the highest chance of getting a Mega Evolution here if the game comes out. Also, it being, honestly, one of the more unremarkable Pokemon. The only thing is, you know, the new Steel-type Goodra existing. You could argue that that's kind of like a, you know, turn off for adding a Mega for Goodra, seeing as it already has another form with that. Dragonite is obviously iconic. I think he could stand a good chance. Basically, if any of these get Megas, they're going to be broken. Like, give Dragonite Mega Evolution, give it Aerilate, and just watch everyone cry themselves to sleep at night, because E-Killer Dragonite with Aerilate will just fucking obliterate everyone. Base, like, 1,000 attack. I mean, no. Excalibur, if he gets a Mega Evolution, his attack stat will literally be the first, like, base. Like, he'll have Mega... He'll be like Eternamax, but with attacking stat. Literally, like, that 255. So, definitely do not give these 2 fuckers Megas. They're already way, way, way too good. If anything, give Hydreigon or Goodra a Mega. Maybe Como. Don't give Dragapult a Mega. Look at his speed stat. He does not need a Mega. He's already faster than a fucking bullet train. Although, if they did give him a Mega, they should definitely give him turn normal moves into... Oh, that does not bring him up. There we go. Turn normal type moves into ghost type moves. He needs that, like, Ghost D8. And then, because he has double edge, there it is. Give him a good ghost physical stab for once. Definitely balanced as fuck. Yeah, besides that, Como, I mean, it wouldn't hurt for him to get a Mega. I don't see anything wrong with that. Really, it's just these 3. Hydreigon, Goodra, Dragapult. And especially Goodra because of Gen 6. But maybe Hydreigon as well. Any of those 3 getting a Mega, I could definitely see it. And I don't think would be too unreasonable. Like, I have a hard time seeing Goodra being, like, truly, truly broken. Especially when, you know, you're giving up your item slot. You're not going to be able to run something like Leftovers if you're going, like, extremely bulky on the Goodra. Or everyone's favorite Assault Vest on your Goodra. You know, I don't think, like, Goodra doesn't really have, like, setup either. So I don't think Goodra could, like, be too out of hand if it got a Mega. Unlike Salamence and Metagross, who are both broken as fuck. Garchomp got saved by its speed stat being lowered instead of raised. And Tyranitar, I mean, he's slow. It's hard for slow Pokemon to be, like, that insanely broken. So. But yeah. I think out of all those Pokemon, those are the Pokemon I see having, like, the greatest connections to already existing Megas. I do think there's also, you know, some interest in G-Max Pokemon. Like, giving them Megas in place of, you know, the G-Max forms they got. That's obviously a really popular idea seen in ROM hacks. I don't think that would happen because Game Freak will kind of view it as them already having their spotlight, but that hasn't stopped them before with Charizard, seeing as he always gets the spotlight. People joke about Charizard getting a Mega Charizard Z, and honestly, I could see it being like Dragon Flying. It'll lose both typings, or well, one of the typings, just to cheese. Be some like broken ass, you know, base 1000 stats. I don't know, but yeah, bow.